Shalom, shalom, akiyam. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, Bahashem, Yahawah Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kwadash. I would also like to give a double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. I would also like to say peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000 men of Israel, which consists of the servants, the prophets, whom have been ordained since the foundations of this earth to sing this new song, which comes in the form of this gospel, which would be preached throughout all four corners of this earth and rest upon the ears of the innumerable multitude, men, women, and children of Israel, who may be scattered throughout all four corners of this earth. It's just Bayan back again through the spirit and power of YAHAWAH, Bahashem, Yahawah Shai. And I just wanted to get into a brief lesson, going into this short that came across my feed last night or what have you. And, just more confusion, regarding you so-called African Americans, man. And ultimately, your lack of discernment regarding who you truly are and that you are far from an African. Okay? You subscribing to being an African American comes from the likings of these German American anthropologists of the likes of you have Franz Boas, his understudy also, Melvin Herskovitz. These men like them, all right, is the reason why you subscribe to this diabolical lifestyle. Ultimately, why you describe yourself as an African American is due to them. Okay, they've married you to the land of Ham, through their so-called quote-unquote studies. Okay, which in reality, that couldn't be the furthest thing from the truth, man. All right, you so-called Negroes, you so-called African Americans, you are of the tribe of Judah. All right, the head tribe of the nation of Israel, and it's something you should take pride in. Our Messiah, Yahawah Shai, stems out of the tribe of Judah. All right, pursuant to the book of Hebrews, the 7th chapter. So it's definitely something to take pride in, but, and this is why this damn demon Esau has gone out of his way to try and throw all this confusion your way, to keep you from coming back home to the understanding of who you are and where you truly come from, man. Okay, because the facts remain. All right, there's information out here, which we're going to get into some. All right, proving that you're not African. All right, and the only proof we need is the scriptures. Okay? But again, individuals like Melvin Herskovitz is proof, okay, that they're trying to blind you. They're trying to keep you in this pot of confusion, all right, to where you can never come to the conclusion that you're actually Yashar Allah, Prince of the power, man. And with knowing that there's power, all right, knowing that you are of the lineage of Adam, okay, Abraham, Isaac, to Jacob, man, to the 12 tribes, to know that you're of that bloodline, man, all the way to Yahawah Shai, man, to know that you have the same blood in you as the chosen seed, man, of the world. Come on, man. There's power in knowing that. That'll change you, man, in a good way. You see, you will come to the conclusion that you're the closest thing to the highest power conceivable and his only begotten son. You will view yourself different. And these devils know that. This is why they keep you far from that. Okay? Now, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, we're going to bring to light the reality, man. All right? the reality of who you are, man. All right, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, are the chosen, all right, are the chosen of Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man. But a blessed people. You see? And we're going to play this clip. But before we do, let's get into a couple of things real quick. Now, let's go here. Let's start here. Let's go to, what's that? Is that Exodus? Exodus, the 11th chapter. I think it's 11 and 7. The book of Exodus, chapter 11 and verse 7, and it reads, "But against any of the children of Israel should not a dog move his tongue against man or beast. Ye may know how that the Lord Yahawah doeth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel." Okay? Now, who were the Egyptians? All right? Now, for those of you that don't know, all right, when you go into the Zondervan Bible Compact Dictionary, what you're going to find out is that the Egyptians are the offspring of Ham. Okay? Which are the Africans. So-called Africans, okay? The Hamites. All right? So, when you go, right? Or Mizraim, right, in the Hebrew. Now, when you read this, this is in the Zondervan Bible Compact Dictionary under Ham. Listen, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes. Okay? But the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites. But wait, who are the Negroes? Well, they calling you so-called African Americans as Negroes, man. Okay, which is no such thing as a damn Negro. Where's the land of Negro at? That's another part of this man's social construct that he's pushed to confuse you, man. So you even got to dig deep into this to come to the conclusion. And the reality of it all is that you are the Israelites, as we just read in Exodus 11 and 7, man, bringing that point home. But again, speaking to, these German-American anthropologists, in this case, this dude, Melvin Herskovitz, was an American anthropologist. Franz Boas was a German. Okay? All right, now check this out. Melvin Gene Herskovitz, all right, was an American anthropologist who helped to first establish African and African diaspora studies in American academia. Listen to this. He is known for exploring the culture continuity from African cultures as expressed in African American communities, ma'am. Okay? This is the validation that you niggas are standing behind when you call yourself an African American. Not to mention, you're subscribing to 2 Edomites when you're calling yourself an African American. Okay, Africanus. What's his name? Africanus. How do you say his name? I know you got Americo Vespucci, and you got Africanus. How do you say his name? Aspicius, I think it is. Aspicios. You see? So these are 2 Edomites, man. Matter of fact, let's do this. Scipio Africanus, man. All right, 2 Edomites. Americo Vespucci and Scipio Africanus. This is what you so-called Negroes are subscribing to when you calling yourself as an African American. Okay? And when you come down to the bottom of this, all right, when you get down to the bottom of this, this is why these Hamites feel the way they feel about you. All right, and this is what you're going to see on display in this clip. Check it out.
I do have this conversation a lot with Africans or even just Caribbean people who will often look down on Black Americans. Number one, they will say they lazy, they ghetto. I've heard African parents tell their kids not to date African American men, not to marry them, things of that nature. What are some negative stereotypes y'all heard about Black America from your parents, from your friends?
You literally said it all.
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
Like my mom would tell me not to marry an African.
Yeah.
She says it all the time.
Even when I hear like African parents say that, it very much sounds like the same rhetoric that a white person would tell their kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't marry that Black guy. Like, he's ratchet, they ghetto. It's crazy to hear other Black people have that type of rhetoric towards each other.
See, and this is a blind, dead man walking. You know? These are all dead people on that podium. And she was a Judite herself, talking about, yeah, her mom tells her that all the time. You know? But anyways, do you not realize that these Hamites had locked in arms with these Europeans, man, and these other heathen nations to persecute us, man, and to sell us off in these various trades? Ham was a major player when it came to not just the transatlantic slave trade, but you have something called the sub-Saharan slave trade, man, under the Arabians, man, under Ishmael. Okay, and as a matter of fact, when you go here, I asked ChatGPT a couple of things. All right, now check this out. I asked him, who are all the nations that took part in the sub-Saharan slave trade? Check this out. The sub-Saharan slave trade included multiple overlapping systems over a long period, roughly from the 17th century to the 19th century, involving various regions and nations. Here's a breakdown of the main players by trade route or type. All right, you got the trans-Saharan, right, through the Sahara Desert to North Africa. Check it out. So Arab, right, Berber tribes, Tuareg nomads, African kingdoms like Mali Empire, Songhai Empire, Kanem, Hassa. Ham's in a circle, man. Helping. Hey, this is Joel. Matter of fact, we're going to go get Joel, the third chapter. Look. Indian Ocean slave trade. Africa to Arabia. Persia, India. Look. Arab traders. All right? Especially from Oman and Yemen. Persians, man. Swahili city-states. Look at Ham. African coastal. Look at India. Okay? Yeah, Elam's in there, man. See? This is why you niggas are not going to go unscathed. Look, Portuguese, man. These Edomites. After colonizing parts of East Africa. Look, man. And then you got the Atlantic slave trade. Right, which obviously European powers can include in Portugal, Spain, France, Britain, Netherlands, Denmark. And we're on the street via Britain. The brother sent me some information. So yeah, these Edomites were actually, drinking out of Judite women skulls, man. Up until recently. Lord willing, we'll do a lesson on that if the Spirit allows, man. Right? Look at African kingdoms and states. Look at they're right there with the. Why do you think they feel the way they feel about you niggas, man? Okay. Because that's how you're acting. You're acting like a nigga. No, you have to carry yourself like an Israelite, man. Because that's who you are. And they know that. But the fact that you're acting like a nigga, you see how you're acting is what Esau done cooked up in his lab. Okay? But if you carry yourself like an Israelite, as you see the true men, women, and children standing in righteousness, how they carry themselves, that puts these heathen nations in fear. Okay, because they know you now are operating cohesively with your power. But what you got on display via nigger culture, okay, Latina culture, whatever you want to call it, man, Native American culture, that's all rubbish, man. And that's you falling into the trap of Esau's pseudoscience. But look, the point I want to make here, look at you got the European powers, Portugal, Spain, France, Britain, Netherlands, Denmark, and then look at the African kingdoms and states, Dahomey, Ashanti, Oyo Empire, Congo Kingdom, and various coastal trading groups and warlords, man. Okay? Brazil, which later independently traded slaves, which the Europeans took that over. Right? Spanish America and British colonies, man. Okay, look, you got the Red Sea slave trade. East Africa to Arabia and the Middle East. Who are the participants? Ottoman Empire, Arab, right? Ishmael, man. Egyptians, look. African suppliers, man. You see it? Always in the mix. Okay? Always in the mix, man. Ham. Okay, because they know you're the enemy, man. And they took part in us being heavily persecuted. Let's go here. Let's go get the prophecy. Hey, why do you think they're going to get treated roughly, man? And we're going to show you that too. All right? See, Ham knows that you're not no African, Jay. You don't know that, though. Right? This is the book of Joel, chapter 3. I'm going to go straight to the point in verse 4. And it reads, yeah, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head? Okay? Listen. So listen, there's no recompense that can be received. Okay, but you going into captivity as well. As you can see, the Palestinians were involved. Why do you think they're going through what they're going through? All right, that righteous recompense is manifesting. And it's far from its perfection. All right? Why do you think Tyre and Zidon's being highlighted? Look. Which are the Hamites. Look at, because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried it into your temples, my goodly pleasant things. Right? And not only did they take our literally silver and gold, via that sub-Saharan slave trade, but they also took us. Okay? We're likened unto gold, man, the men of Israel, man. Israel in general is likened unto precious things, man. We're precious in the eyes of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. Look, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have you sold unto the Grecians, man. Who are those? The Edomites, man. Okay? This is talking to the Edomites, the Grecians, man. That ye might remove them far from their border, man. Didn't we just read all those slave trades that took place? Okay? You see all the nations that were involved, all them heathen nations, man? Elam, Ottoman Empire, okay? The Arabs, Ishmael, Ham, okay? The Europeans, man? Portugal, Brazil, the Britain. Come on, man. The Spaniards. Look. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither you have sold them, and will recompense your... did I read that all? Yeah, I did. Matter of fact, let me read that again. Joel 3 and 6. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have you sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border, man. Okay, and after 70 AD, okay, via the Roman persecution, the southern kingdom was all over the coast of Africa, man. The west coast of Africa. Fleeing that persecution. They were in the northwest and south and central. Or they were in the interiors of Africa. They were all over the place, man, Jake. Okay? And these nations knew who Jake was. Okay? They knew that they were Hebrews. That's what they were calling. All right? Which are Hebrews. They knew. They could tell the difference because they know. They always knew. You see? Why do you think they're telling this big fat lie, calling you as an African American or a Negro or an Afro-American? Okay? Trickling all the way down to the tribes, man. Calling you Native Americans and Puerto Ricans and Dominicans and Colombians and Brazilians and Ecuadorians and El Salvadorians and so on and so forth. Why do you think they're doing that? Why do you think they're calling you that? Because they know who you are. You got to know the truth in efforts to tell a lie. You got to know the truth. You see? Look, Joel 3 and 7. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head, man. And we're being raised up now, spiritually. And it's going to happen physically soon come. The elect, first and foremost, Lord willing, we're part of that precious number. Okay? And we're being raised up, man, through this word, man. The Lord sent the Holy Spirit. You see? And what comes after that cohesively? Recompense upon your own head, man. Okay? And we're talking we're isolating Ham right now, but all you heathen nations are gonna get it. Look let's get a little more. Joel 3:8, and I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hands of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off, for the Lord has spoken it, man. And if I'm not mistaken, them Sabians are the Sabians are the Hamites, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, but guess what? They're gonna get it too. The Sabians are gonna get it too, man. As a matter of fact, let's go get that. In Isaiah chapter 45. I believe it's in here, Isaiah 45. Is it Isaiah 45? There we go. The book of Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 14. Bear with me. Come on now. The book of Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 14, and it reads, Thus saith the Lord Yahawah, the labor of Egypt and merchandise of Ethiopia and of the Sabians, so the Hamites there, the Sabians are Hamites. Look it. Men of stature shall come over unto thee, and they shall be thine. Okay, so you Hamites are going to become a possession. You have a lot to pay for. Okay, as we just looked up in ChatGPT, all the slave trades you were involved in all of them. Okay, now you're going to become a possession, man. All right, they shall come after thee in chains. They shall come over. Okay, yes, you're going in chains and fetters of iron, Ham. Okay, all you heathens are pursuing to Jeremiah 30. All you heathens. Right? And they shall fall down unto thee, man. Okay? They shall make supplication unto thee, man. All right? You're going to bow yourself down to the soles of our feet, man. Okay? and the supplication means to beg. Okay? You're going to be begging us through the Spirit, man. Saying what? Surely power is in thee, and there is none else. There is no power, man. All right, there's no power but YAHAWAH Ba'ashem Yahawashi, man. And all you heathen nations are going to come to that conclusion. Because all you heathen nations are going to bow. You see? You're going to come to the conclusion that the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans was YAHAWAH Ba'ashem Yahawashi's eternal excellency, man. You're going to come to that conclusion, man. Because YAHAWAH Ba'ashem Yahawashi is going to make sure it's so. So yeah, man, hey, you already know. And we almost out of here, Akiyam and Akwaf. The Lord's working. You know, the Lord's waking up, his people, starting with the elect. Lord willing, we're part of that precious number. And we're seeing the tokens, man. All right, we're seeing the build up to the deliverance, all right, that's gonna mark the end, all right, of the time of these heathen, man. And in the beginning of Jacob, all right, which is gonna be forevermore. And this shame, all right, that we have to bear, no longer will we bear it. Okay? But the heathen are going to bear their shame. All praise, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH Ba'ashem Yahawashi Ba'ashem Rakah Quadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. Lord willing, you Akiyam and Akwaf were edified. 144. Isaiah 45 and 14, 144. Call on him, YAHAWAH Ba'ashem Yahawashi. Shalom.